What's going on, everyone? Chris from PickDawgz.com here with your morning show. It is Monday, December 22nd, 2025. Another weekend in the books. We're going to talk some winners and losers today, and we got an interesting mix of action today. Not the biggest cards for NBA, NHL. We got Monday Night Football. We got one college football game, and we got a random mishmash of games from college hoops. We're going to break it all down. There's still money to be made on the board today. We're going to help you guys find it as well. But yeah, I got Costi with me today live after a night at the Lollipop Lounge. Costi, how you doing?
Yep, actually did not go to the Lollipop this weekend. Actually was at my friend's house. Did smoke a cigar yesterday. Not a relaxing day for my Ravens. Another disappointing performance. Sounds like well, you're a Patriots fan, so I'm just honestly, we'll get into it, winners and losers.
Yeah.
I'll have my little rant, but
Okay.
I'm excited for this week. Honestly, Chris, with the Christmas week, the way they set it up now with football during Christmas, basketball during Christmas, bowl week, you have a whole slate of great opportunities every single day this week. I wouldn't sleep on it, man. A lot of people like to kind of like push back on the holidays. Not us. This is when we pedal to the metal, and I think I like a lot of spots. I'm already looking ahead. I like a lot of spots this week, so excited to break down today's card as well.
I think the one sport that kind of leaves us with the short end of the stick is college hoops. You know, they've got. I think they still have that tournament, the Hawaii tournament, on Christmas Day. I think is it the Diamond Head? I think. Let me see. I just want to make sure that I have it here. No, I didn't mean to do that.
No, the last day is Tuesday.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just trying to see if they have matchups, because usually they have a tournament on Christmas Day. Oh, they don't. They don't anymore.
No.
Huh? They used to. That's a shame. Goes away from tradition, but. And then, yeah, see, so the last game of college hoops is on the 23rd. You come back on the 27th with Northridge and Stanford, and then you get back into it on the 28th. So, college hoops is, kind of leaving us.
It's never been that way. It's always been the major leagues right around Christmas, the bowl games right around Christmas. That's it. College hoops has always taken a break. Let them go back to their families.
No, I know, but at least with college hoops, it used to be that you would get the 4 games on Christmas Day from Hawaii.
Yeah.
And then, everything else would just be working around it. But yeah, I'm always looking forward to that Christmas Day NBA card. Like you said, the NFL still getting it right. The NHL is going to take a break. They normally do. But yeah. But we won't waste any time. We'll get right into it. Costi, hit me first. Winners and losers.
I'm going to where I need to go to get this out of my system. Loser, the entire Baltimore Ravens organization. You completely failed miserably this year. You had all the talent in the world on paper. You came into the year with Henry, and you had Zay Flowers, and you had Likely, you had Andrews, you had Bateman. You thought that getting Hopkins was the solution. You did not address the offensive line. You did not address your coordinators. You went into the season with Zach Orr. And this is what you get. Lamar, I have been a Lamar for years. He is fucking soft. You get a knee in the back, you're out in the game that you need to be in the most, because if you lose this game, you're good chance you're out of the playoffs. You're now expecting Pittsburgh to lose. Pittsburgh looks like the better team. You are 3-6 at home. This is where we've done our damage. We have defended that home field for so many goddamn years. And you come in here and you're out-coached every single week. You can't hold a lead in the fourth quarter. That is the coaching staff. Lack of preparation, lack of having the ability to teach these guys not to fumble. It is contagious. We've been doing this for years. It didn't just happen this year. And it's just week after week, you get hope. And then all of a sudden, you can't even hold a lead, and Lamar doesn't come out of the tunnel and say, you know what, even if I'm hurt, I'm going to be here. That's the difference between Josh Allen and Lamar, the grit. Nobody wants to talk about that, but Lamar has now had so many of these injuries throughout the years. He's had an illness every single year. He does not take care of himself. And I hate to say it, and maybe this is the older version, and our window has decimated, because we had a window for a couple years, Chris, where there was at least 2 opportunities where we could have gotten to the Super Bowl. Harbaugh's fault. Lamar saved Harbaugh's job, because otherwise he was out of here the year when Flacco went down. Lamar saved this job, and this guy has not been able to do his job, which is bring in the right coordinators. They should have kept McDonald. They should have paid him whatever he wanted, or they should have fired Harbaugh then. Now you're talking about a position where the window has closed. I don't know what to do with Lamar at this point. He is an exceptional talent, but it just doesn't work. He's soft. When he gets hurt, it is a major factor, and his contract is going to be a major factor to come. Loser, Baltimore Ravens organization.
And on the retort to that, I think you can take a winner from that being New England. Not to dance on the Ravens' grave there, but I think you saw that the Patriots are legit. They're not just a flash in the pan. I was concerned that, and I think I said this in the video for that game, was that we could probably go back to the winners and losers section the week or the day after New England beat Buffalo the first time, and I said verbatim, you look at the schedule the Patriots have up until the bye week, they could run the table and lead the division. And I thought at the time, some people thought it was a hot take. Some people thought it was crazy. It's exactly what happened. Now, it was a Charmin soft schedule. So, they came out, they got punched in the mouth by Buffalo. They in fairness, they led big in that game. They fell apart. They let Buffalo back into it. They retook the lead, then fell apart again late. And you kind of wondered, well, what was going to happen in the follow-up after that? And some people are like, oh, well, it was the Patriots playing a soft schedule, blah, blah, blah. I think going into Baltimore and winning the way they did, battling and grinding out a win shows you that this team's not a joke. They're not a novelty act. They're going to be a team you have to keep an eye on in the postseason. I don't know if they're going to win the whole thing, but they're well coached. That defense can get after it. Drake May, maybe the next big thing for New England. Maybe they were right taking him. So for me,
he's awesome, man. He is elite, Chris. But
good.
This wasn't about today. It wasn't about yesterday's game for the Ravens. This isn't the season on the line. Like, this was a playoff game. This team has struggled. We were 1-5 early in the year. This was the team that was just horrible. Harbaugh has been outcoached. I don't care what you say. Henry has had 2 touchdowns. He is running the ball well, and you just sit him at the end of the game for the last 2 possessions. Why? And I can name 100 other things out there, but do everything in your power. Is Lamar that hurt? Didn't seem like it.
You watch the Ravens every week, right?
Yes.
Am I crazy to say that it feels like Lamar quit a few weeks ago?
100%. And he quit again yesterday. He doesn't give a shit. And the talent is there, but I just don't think he cares. Just like that year, that year before he got the contract, this guy decided to sit out and made excuses in the playoffs not to come back for his team in the playoffs because he wanted a contract. He did not play the playoff game when he was clearly not healthy. So, listen, I have backed Lamar through all of it. But I do question his integrity, and I do question his grit. And he's he just doesn't have it. And it's sad. And the fact is that this franchise, like I said it weeks ago, them making the playoffs wasn't going to do anything this year. It was last year making the playoffs and winning it and going to the Super Bowl. It was the year when Lamar had the Greg Roman offense that was unstoppable, was the year you make it to the playoffs and you win it and you go to the Super Bowl. It's John Harbaugh that is just incapable of out-coaching anyone. He has been out-coached for years. The big second-half leads that have decimated, putting these defensive coordinators in that position. I mean, Zach Orr should have been fired. And organizationally, we just don't do that. Organizationally, we try to emulate what the Steelers do, and we just don't fire our coaches, and we stick with them. Well, Tomlin, he is elite. And he's never, maybe a couple years you're calling for his job, but most of the time he's making the playoffs year after year, and they're figuring it out. John Harbaugh has had Lamar to get him over the hump and make these big playoff runs. But when he's not there, he's outcoached every game. You're up 10 and you're outcoached again, and you lose the game outright in the fourth quarter. And again, it's a microcosm of what we've saw this last game, but it's been the entire season. This has been our entire season. Constantly being outcoached, making poor decisions, making mistakes. And it's just like the ball security. Like, come on, man. You can't be this incapable of not fumbling the ball week after week after week. It was the likely fumble going into the end zone. It was the Zay Flowers last year going into the end zone fumble. It's a Zay Flowers again this year. The Derrick Henry fumbles, the Mark Andrews. I mean, like, it's just all these factors that you can't control, but and the good teams do control it. The good teams are the ones that don't make those mistakes. And we're just not really that good of a team.
But yeah, I don't know. I just think that, I think New England, like I said, I think New England is a legit threat. So that's Baltimore's. I don't know. I like I said, I think Lamar quit ages ago, and yeah, that's all it is. But Kasi, what's your next?
I'll be happy. Just clean house. Get rid of them. I'll be very happy. Start a new regime. I don't even know who we'll take. People are talking about Freeman from Notre Dame. I'm not really psyched about that one. But all right, you said Pats was your winner. I'm going to go to winner Chicago Bears from Saturday. What a performance. I'll take it on the chin. I had the Packers in that game. The fact that they lost that game outright is a miraculous comeback as it is, but the Bears looked completely outmatched for 3.5 quarters. They had him dead to rights. Caleb was not able to do anything. The running game wasn't there. Even with skinny Malik Willis in there, they were able to move the ball. It just looked like typical grinded out Packers performance. And out of nowhere, you have the drive to get the touchdown late in the game, the onside kick, again, come down and get a touchdown. And now you take it to overtime. And man, what a cool experience. I love the walk away, put my hands in my sweatshirt after I throw the ball. Caleb Williams, the Burr, the Chill, the Iceman. A lot of respect for a guy that I trashed last year that I didn't believe was going to be an excellent, serviceable NFL quarterback. But you know what a person like Caleb Williams needs is a Ben Johnson. We all need a Ben Johnson. You know, I would do well if I had a Ben Johnson. I feel like I'd be better. I'd be a better version of myself. So shout out to the Bears. awesome performance at home. They have the little brother syndrome for so many years, and they were able to pull this one out. So congrats to the Bears, Ben Johnson, and organizationally to turn that franchise around and to be as good as they are in year one.
From that same division, I'll stick with my loser, the Detroit Lions.
Yeesh.
That was just one of the more the only words I can use to say that was one of the more fucked up performances I've ever seen from the Detroit Lions. It's just that they just were all out of sorts. I get it. They were banged up, but it was just like, I don't know. It was just so confusing to watch. Normally, this Detroit Lions team is clean. They're at least, just organized and whatever. It didn't seem like that at all in that game against the Steelers. It just felt very frazzled. You know what I mean? Like it just felt weird. It just didn't seem like your typical Detroit Lions performance. And for a team that normally rebounds from their losses really well, that's their first loss. They just had a 15-game win streak following a loss snapped in that game. They were 14-1 against the spread. The only game they didn't cover was week 12 against the Giants, where they were 2 touchdown favorites and won in overtime. And now you go from a team that went, 15-2 last year to now on the outside looking in. I didn't think that having no Ben Johnson was going to be this much of a drop-off, but something ain't right in Detroit. And, yeah, it's crazy to think that, Detroit just went from a team that, a lot of people thought could be just a Super Bowl contender with offense to now just, like I said, just being a dud. And, yeah, so I got one more kind of point from it. Because do you have any more winners and losers?
Yeah, I'm gonna give the winner to New Orleans Saints. I mean, this is a team that we were looking at as potentially the worst team in the league. They were going nowhere. Now they put 3 wins in a row together. Tampa Bay, Carolina, who are both decent. Carolina's decent. Tampa Bay's decent. And then they beat the Jets. But they didn't just beat the Jets. They beat them wire to wire. So, ever since they put Tyler Shook in, he's had this connection with Olave. They have the rookie Devin Neal. I mean, I don't know what that franchise is going to look like next year, but with these rookies playing the well that they are, because we always talk about this. By week 16, you're no longer a rookie. You're no longer a rookie. At this point, you have been to a lot of meetings. You've had a lot of preparation. You're basically a second-year player at this point. And the guys that developed, you're seeing it now at the end of the season. Tyler Shook, Devin Neal, these guys are playing really well, and they're coached well. And listen, got to give them credit. 3 in a row is 3 in a row. However you look at it, they were a huge home favorite, which everybody looked at as, oh my God, New Orleans is a huge home favorite. Well, there's a reason why they were a favorite, and there's a reason why they won 29-6. So shout out to the New Orleans Saints for keeping it moving. 3 in a row is hard to do in this league, and respect to them and the organization of what they're finishing out the year with.
I'm going to go with my last winner, and it's just going to be just a generic statement. Winner, finally having some parity in the NFL. And not just, year after year of teams, being dynasties in their divisions. I get it. The NFC East, this is the first year they've had a back-to-back division winner in like 20-something years, something like that. But normally, the last few years, the AFC North has belonged to Baltimore. Last few years, the AFC East has belonged to Buffalo since Tom Brady left. As shit as the NFC South has been, I'm pretty sure Tampa Bay won back-to-back, maybe 3 in a row. the NFC West is always a crapshoot, but the AFC West, Kansas City's division for the last decade, now you're finally getting a change. You're finally getting some new blood in there. You're getting the Chicago Bears in the playoffs. You're potentially getting the Carolina Panthers in the playoffs after being dog shit for the better part of the last 3 years. You're getting New England back in there. You're getting just fresh blood, the next generation of the NFL. And, I think that it's good to see. It's for me, it's at least good to see because, it creates some unpredictability. I get it. You want to have your stars and you want to have, teams that you can rely on, but, you also want to have a product that you never know who's going to win. There's a reason they say any given Sunday. It's because you can literally go in and beat anybody. Well, now you have a playoff where I got to pull up the standings for both. I didn't have it offhand, but like where the Bears could be the 1 seed in the NFC. The Denver Broncos are playing well. Like I said, the NFC West is a crapshoot. Like right now it feels like if you look at the NFC, you could genuinely make any case for any team that is still alive in the NFC. The AFC, the South is interesting with Jacksonville all of a sudden being back. Shout out Liam Cohen. But like Houston, the Chargers and the Broncos could get hot. The Bills and the Patriots. The only team that can't really do anything right now is probably the AFC North. But that's besides the point. Sorry, Kasi. But
we're cooked. I mean, it's.
But I'm just saying, shout out parity in the NFL this season.
I got one more before we start.
Go.
Shout out Jacksonville Jaguars. You proved to me this win, how you won. I doubted you. I was on Denver in the game. This was a huge monumental win for this franchise, for Liam Cohen. Trevor Lawrence looks a completely different human being. The way that he has the confidence to scramble, to hit guys on the run. The addition of Myers has been huge. Patrick Washington's been solid. Brian Thomas Jr. all of a sudden is solid. Strange is a good tight end. You have ATN. I mean, you have a really good offense with a good offensive line and a really good opportunistic defense. You went into Denver and you didn't just beat them. You beat them. You beat the shit out of them. And this was a team that was exceptional at home. They have an amazing defense. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, literally, against that pass rush, which is historically the best pass rush on paper since the 85 Bears, went 23 of 36 for 300-plus yards and 3 touchdowns on the road. I wouldn't want – this is a team that I do not want to play. Because this is a Florida team. We always talk about, why is Miami? They can't win in the cold. Jacksonville just went in the cold and beat the shit out of the Broncos. So this is a team that I would worry to play at home. The Patriots, get them in the first round, or potentially down in the first round because they're going to win the division. But I wouldn't want to play them. AFC Championship on the road. This team could travel, man. And shout out to the Jags. I said this before this week. They could come in here and beat Denver. I'm a believer. Because they've had a good resume. They've now won 6 in a row. And the games prior to that, they lost to a Davis Mills shootout game. They lost to the Rams in London. They lost to Seattle. And they lost to Cincy early in the year with Joe Burrow. So this is a different team now. Again, this is not rookies anymore. So this first year with Liam Cohen, this is not first year anymore. This is the development, the week of preparation, and you're seeing them play their best football late in the year, which is what anybody wants. 6-game winning streak right now, regardless of the competition. They went into Denver and beat them, and then next week they have the Colts, and then they finish with Tennessee. I wouldn't be surprised if they finish with a 13-win season. So shout out to the Jags.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to say anything about college football because it's just There's so much.
Did you get back? Did you get backdoored on Oregon?
No, I had James Madison.
What was that? That was awful. What are you doing? 99-yard drive? 99-yard drive? It's like they just didn't care.
That's JMU just not wanting to quit.
Yeah, but 99 yards. Come on. Like, come on. You know they're trying to score, and you just let them basically go up the field.
Oregon's like, we hung 51. They're like, we don't give a shit anymore. We're moving on. Easiest. I'm not trying to blow smoke up my own ass here. Easiest college football play of the season was Ole Miss.
Yeah, I was on Ole Miss.
Was Ole Miss, hands down. Tulane got their shit pushed in again. It was the and watch. I can already tell you right now. Hold on. I want to just check something real quick, and then I'll make the statement here.
You're saying the line versus Georgia?
What is it?
Do
you have it?
Hold on one second.
Georgia minus 6.5. Lock of the year. Done. Over. Ole Miss. That was Ole Miss's. That was the Ole Miss spot of the year. Now they shot their load. They gave Lane Kiffin the big fuck you. We didn't need you. Congrats. Tulane, you showed that when Jake Retzlaff had to show up, he did exactly the same shit that he did in the first meeting against Ole Miss. When they forced him to pass, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. Now you're Ole Miss. You got to take on Georgia. Georgia wins by 30. That's plain and simple. What? You hungry?
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That was my stomach.
I was like,
that was loud. I didn't think anybody heard it. That's a good mic here.
Yeah,
good mic. I think it's telling me that the Ravens suck.
Yeah, you're hungry for a win. Yeah.
Good mic. Good microphone.
You do have a good mic. I'll give you that. I heard that. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. That's there you go. The one I'm interested to see how it moves is Indiana, Alabama. That's going to be interesting to see how that moves.
Yeah. 7 right now. OSU is 9 over Miami. Ohio State. Oregon's a favorite against Tech.
Yeah, Oregon's a favorite against Texas Tech.
That's going to be a shootout. It's only 52.5.
Whew. Huh. Holy crap.
We'll see what Texas Tech is made of. It's $29 million. What does that pay?
There's plenty of time for these lines to move. So we'll be talking about it throughout the week. But we do have action on the board to talk about today. And we go to one of my favorites. Break out the starch. It's the famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
You love potatoes.
Washington State and Utah State. Utah State's a 1.5 point favorite here. Total of 49.5. Cost, did you break down did you see anything from the college football game today? Anything?
Yeah, I actually have a play in this game that my group's released. So I'm going to go over to the total. I just think the total's way too low. Utah State has a top 30 offense, and Washington State does not have a good defense. Now, Washington State doesn't really knock you off your feet with their offense, but I just think 49 is way too low. It's actually lower. I think when the graphic was made, you could actually get it at 48. Oh, it has bumped up. So when I actually was looking at it earlier, it was actually 48. So now it's ballooning up. I still like it. Under 50. Under 50. Let's rock. I'll take the over.
I'm going to roll with Utah State here. If we look at, I'm just pulling back up the opt-outs here just to make sure that I have the most up-to-date information. I'm pretty sure Washington State's starting running back is out. I think he's opting out for this game. Let's see here. Yeah, so Washington State starting quarterback is out. These are all the guys that are hitting the transfer portal. One of their starting cornerbacks, Kenny Worthy, Anthony Polano, linebacker, missing an edge rusher. They're missing a wide receiver. Tony Freeman had 557 yards, 3 touchdowns. For the most part, Utah State's got everybody. They have 1 receiver hitting the transfer portal and 1 tight end. But there's just so much turnover for Washington State that I have a hard time getting there to begin with. And I like what Bronco Mendenhall's done with Utah State this season. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that when Mendenhall came over from New Mexico that it was going to be a lot of the same bullshit that he ran at New Mexico and it's going to be a bunch of shootouts. But he's got this Utah State team playing well. They were a great cover team this season. So I'm going to go Utah State. I'm going to take them money line here. Minus 115. Go ahead.
I'm feeling nice. I'm feeling nice and generous. Free syndicate bet, Utah State.
There we go.
With Chris. We're giving back. It's Christmas this week, man. We appreciate you guys for watching, for being fans of the channel. Yep. Free syndicate bet. There you go.
There you go.
Utah State.
Yeah, I like Utah State here a lot. Yeah, not much I can. What I will say for people who are betting bowl games, if you see a 1.5, just take the money line. If you like the favorite, if you like the underdog, don't be afraid to take the 1.5. But if you like the favorite at 1.5, with how many of these games can finish on 1, because teams like to go for 2 in these bowl games, I wouldn't even chance, the laying the 1.5 personally. But you do you. 5 cents. I'm not gonna risk losing my bet, but we'll move on to college hoops. And like I said, quite the interesting card from college hoops today. Not gonna lie. It's already started with New Haven and Fordham, but let's just go through it. I mean, Fordham's up by 6 at my last check. A lot of these Division I versus non-D1 games. The D1 action that's not the 11 o'clock games starts at 2 p.m. You got Sacred Heart, Sharp taking on Towson. You got NJIT against Butler. You got West Georgia taking on Georgia laying 35 there. Denver, Tulsa, Seattle, UTSA, South Carolina State, South Carolina, SIU, Edwardsville, Western Illinois, Abilene Christian, and Texas Southern, Portland, UC Santa Barbara, Siena, Indiana, American, Virginia, and Coppin State, Georgetown is up to 6:30 Eastern. Costy, is there any college hoops action that you like on the card today?
I'm going to lay the points with Indiana here. They have not been great against the spread. They laid 38 against Chicago State and did not cover that one. But I think 22 is the right number here. Siena has as good as they have been record-wise. I think they're going to be way outmatched in this one, and the size of Indiana is going to give Siena a lot of trouble. So I'll lay the points with them. The only other one that I like, and this is just another bad spot for Mississippi Valley State. Another bad spot. West Virginia, this team has proven they just beat Little Rock, laying 27, 90-58. They lost a tight one to Ohio State. This is a good rebound game for them coming off that loss on the road by a point. What's a better way to get right than to face Mississippi Valley State? Just the human punching bag. They just get punched. It's just sad. Imagine being their fans. They're just a punching bag. So another one goes down here for them. They're getting 41 points. They need like 60 points to be comfortable to bet. 50 plus, I might look at them. 41, they're not covering.
I really want to take Coppin State plus 32 against Georgia.
They're right down the street.
Did you see the Ed Cooley thing?
Mm-mm.
He was so pissed. I think it was the last game. He was so pissed. His team missed a game tying shot or something at the end, and he threw a water bottle out of frustration and hit a 4-year-old in the chest in the third round.
Oh no. Oh no.
He rifles it, and I'm just following the
kind of like the DK Metcalf punching a fan yesterday. It's kind of the same.
The kid's family is suing him.
I don't blame him.
Because apparently he got a severe concussion from it.
Oh no. Ed, what are you doing? They're right down the street too. Coppin State.
Yeah.
Towson, Coppin State. I can get to either college 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was not pretty. But I'm going to take Coppin State. I think 32 is too many. I think Georgetown wins by 25, 26. I think that's where they draw the line.
Hey, that's not nice.
No, he's asked me that twice.
Oh, he's very exciting.
Yeah, he's
very excited.
Clearly interested.
I have. So, quick story about this, because this just came to me. I was home. I was getting ready. It was like 7 a.m. I was getting ready for golf. I think it was 2 summers ago. And I'm sitting on the couch drinking my coffee. And, I let one out, and it was not safe. And it just sitting at my house, sharded, right? So what do? I'm like panicking. I'm at home, so it's like I shouldn't be panicking. I take off my pants. I throw them in the laundry, and I walk through my bedroom, and my wife is like, she looks at me, and I'm walking through naked. And then later in the day, she was like, "What were you doing?" And I told her the story, and she just fucking clowned me for days. She's like, "You're weird. Why are you walking across holding your underwear in your hand, your boxers?" So it's happened, man. It's dangerous. Glad it happened at home, Chris, where it was safe. Because, it can happen on the road. But you're much safer at home.
I'm trying to just give me a second here. Here we go. Okay. There we go. All right. I'm just going to try to get this loaded up for everybody, for those who haven't seen it. The clip has been acquired.
Let me see it. You put it up?
I'm trying to. There we go. I just had to airdrop it to myself. You just gotta give me a second.
Just be careful. Yeah. The shart is a dangerous thing. It's a dangerous game we play. You just never know.
Oh yeah, you're playing Russian roulette at that point. Yeah, you've got one in the chamber, and you just don't know if it's gonna fire, and that's the scary part. Here we go. Hold on. All right. Where are we going? Where's video file? Video clips. There we go. Okay. Everyone in the comments, just say right now if you have seen this. Like, don't before I even start it, because it's about to go up. Just say right now if you've seen what I'm about to drop.
I hope it's you twirling.
It's not twirling. No, it's the Ed Cooley.
No.
Back from the corner, missed it short, and Xavier escapes.
Oh no. And the mom is holding the 4-year-old. She didn't even shield him from the.
She didn't. She offered him up.
Oh my God. question the grit. Lamar Jackson and the
From the corner, missed it short, and a Xavier escapes.
Oh man. Oh man. Lamar and the mom. They're in the same bucket.
Yeah.
Lack of grit. Lack of grit.
Yep. No one to blame but yourself at that point.
Yeah, and he also he threw it and it went well, I'm left-handed, but he threw it right-handed and it went left. It didn't. He was trying to throw it straight, and it
that's how mad you've never done that, where you've been so pissed off that you tried to whip something and you overcommitted and you spiked it.
Yeah, he held in golf. We call it you're holding on to it. You're holding on to it. You got to release.
There you go. He held on to it.
He held on to it too long.
Mm.
So he's getting sued.
He's getting sued. Yeah.
Child got a concussion.
I don't know how.
Is Ed Cooley coaching this cop? Are they at home?
No, they suspended him for a game.
Interesting. It's incredible. I'm still amazed how he just he held on to it too long. You just got to release.
Okay.
Release.
I can understand this comment. I get it. You don't expect a water bottle at you, but at the same time, zero survival instincts. It's just let me chest it down and let me just roll with it.
If the child is sitting on my lap, I'm doing one of these. I'm doing one of these.
In fairness, though, he did projectile hurl that thing at that child. So yeah,
the seats are tight too. It's hard to move. It's hard to move.
But at a baseball game, they always tell you be aware of your surroundings. Just saying.
I don't think they expected the coach flinging a water bottle as a foul ball. I don't think we can compare a foul ball in a baseball game as the same.
It's a flying projectile into the stands, Costy. We can compare them.
That's why I always said those people that are shooting those T-shirts, dangerous game.
Back from the corner, missed it short, and a Xavier escapes.
Just keep seeing it on repeat. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
And
we're gonna go through the rest of the college card.
Merry Christmas. It ruined it. It might have ruined his Christmas.
Oh, jeez.
They're gonna think about it. You're sitting there opening presents, and one of your family members is like, Ed, come on. What are you doing? Throwing water bottles at the child again?
I'm trying to.
I bet you the child was able to get up and finish the game, unlike Lamar.
Oh,
I'm sure he was able to sit there and finish the game with a concussion, unlike Lamar. Fucking wussy.
All right, I'm gonna go through the rest of the card. I gotta find
not
one
the
more
child,
thing.
not the child, Lamar. Not the child. Make sure that's clear. Not the child.
Fucking loser. All right.
Not the child. Not the child.
No. Yeah, that kid's not gonna be a quarterback. He's got no escapability.
He's had a concussion at 4 years old. That's
he's
early onset. Basically already to it.
Early onset CTE. 4 years old. Okay, we got North Dakota State and UTEP. As part of the Sun Bowl Invitational. We got Princeton, Temple, Jacksonville, Florida State. Cost already did Mississippi Valley State, West Virginia. Fairleigh Dickinson, or Fairleigh Disinterested against Boston College. Ryder against VCU. Sorry, Ryder, I hardly knew her, against VCU. Northeastern Rhode Island, Stonehill, Syracuse, Eastern Michigan, Wright State, Prairie View A&M, LSU, Coastal Carolina, St. Joe's, Bryant High Point, Canisius, Duquesne, UT Arlington, BJ Bob, aka Oral Roberts, Alabama State, Memphis, Davidson, Kansas, probably one of the better games on the board. Illinois, Missouri is the best game on the board tonight. Bragging rights. Central Michigan, Wisconsin, Maryland Eastern Shore against Texas, IU Indy Grand Canyon. We're almost at the end, I promise. East Carolina, North Carolina. You got Utah Tech, Creighton, the Eggs. UC Irvine, Norfolk State. Eastern Washington, BYU. Bethune-Cookman, Arizona. Stetson, Oklahoma. San Diego, Washington. Northern Iowa, St. Mary's. And Sac State and Cal State, Northridge, Costi. Any other college hoops for you?
No. I mean, I would lean. I kind of like a lot of favorites today. I'm gonna lean Kansas here. Again, too big for Davidson. Davidson's gonna want to stretch the floor and slow the game down. Kansas has just so much talent, and they're, the games that they lost to UConn, which UConn is a very formidable opponent, in Duke. And outside of that, the games that they lose, they don't cover. The games that they have been winning, they've been covering. So I think this is just another one of those spots where 15.5, they're going to blow out Davidson here. Not worried about it. So give me KU.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with, I'm going to go with, let's see here. I'm going to take Alabama State plus the 20. Same thing as I've been rolling with. Memphis is the favorite, no bueno. Alabama State, I think, covers as an underdog here. So I'm going to roll with the Hornets in that one. I'm also going to go with VCU here. Ryder is awful. As bad as VCU, or I should say as un-VCU-like as VCU has been this season. I get that it's part of it is the coaching change to Phil Martelli. I still think that, this VCU team is far better than whatever Riders bring into the table. And, Riders, just like I said, they're one of the worst offensive teams in the country. So I'm looking for VCU to win that one by 40. Maybe an under is in play, a Rider team total under is in play. But yeah, that's where I'm looking in that one. I've got one more thing I'm trying to load into the StreamYard, but this one might take a minute. The extendo clip is Memphis. Well, I would agree with Jovan, but then I'd be wrong. So sorry, I just want to say it like that. Now, there's a chance that he could be right. Alabama State, I backed him against Cincinnati, and they got crushed. But I don't know. I'm fading Memphis as a favorite. I just can't do it. Anything else here? Yeah, I think I'm good with that. I have a couple plays on the board. So let me just make sure that I have this lined up. But we're gonna look at the we'll go to the NHL. Gives me some time to stall so I can get this last clip loaded in for you guys. Someone Costi said kind of hit me like with a flashback that I'm just like, it's too good to not sort of bring up for everybody again. But we've got 4 games on the card from the NHL today. We've got Vancouver and Philadelphia. We got the Tampa Bay Lightning and the St. Louis Blues. Los Angeles and Columbus and Anaheim, Seattle. I'm going to lean towards the Kings here. It's not the best price with LA. I don't love today's NHL card. I do have one NHL play that's going up. It's going to be for sale. But, other than that, I don't necessarily love the card today. But I'll stick with LA. Columbus just can't keep the puck out of the net right now. The team can't stop a beach ball. They've dropped 7 of 8. And, they've been giving up a bunch of goals as of late. They've given up 4 or more goals in 4 of their last 6 and their last 9. 6 of their last 9, excuse me. And I just think that LA is the better team. interesting spot here. You gotta sort of dig through the mush and find out who's playing tomorrow, who's going to be on the Christmas break soon. So that's definitely something you have to navigate. But I still think LA done. And someone's saying hook us up for Christmas. I've been hooking y'all up on my premium page. I'm sorry. I've been doing out the 12 days of Pickmas. There's been so many specials on there. I've been hooking everybody up already. I have been, but I don't have very much today, so I kind of got to keep it close to the vest. But what's another one I like? Tampa Bay puck line. I'm just so out on St. Louis. I think the Tampa Bay is just a far better team, and now that they've got their starting goalie and Vasilevsky back, I think this is a team that's going to go on a run once again. So I roll with Tampa Bay puck line. But before we get to the NBA and NFL, Costi, you know what you said about the
I'm telling you guys, dangerous game you play.
When Costi said how dangerous the t-shirt gun is, that's my first thought. So, oh man. Anyways, we'll move on. I just wanted to bring that up. That's still one of my favorite all-time clips. We've got the NBA on the card today. We've got 6 games from the NBA. We've got debatable. All I'm saying, debatable. We may be able to have that discussion eventually.
He just held on to it too long. I'm telling you. If he didn't hold on to it too long, he probably hits a normal adult. Nobody cares about this story. Of course. His aim, he held on to it. That's a snap hook. You're holding on to the club too long. Snap hook. And now there's a child with CTE that's dealing with the same thing Tua is dealing with.
But we got 6 games from the NBA. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers laying 9 at home against the Charlotte Hornets. We've got the why is this dragon? Come on. No, it doesn't want to do. There we go. Indiana catching 10.5. Or, well, the line's actually caught up over the last 45 minutes since we did these clips or these graphics. Boston's a 12-point favorite now, total 225.5. We got the Pelicans and Mavericks in a coin flip. Pelicans laying 1, money line's minus 120. The Denver Nuggets around 13.5, total 250.5. OKC laying 15.5, total 231. We got the Golden State Warriors laying 6 at home, 5.5, 60-year line shopping, 226.5. And the Portland Trailblazers catching 6, 5.5, 6 at home against the Detroit Pistons. Costi, any NBA for you today?
I'm going back to the well here. Actually, I had Golden State Saturday night, and it was just a really good spot for them against the Suns on the quick revenge game, and they won the game, didn't cover, won by 3, laying 4.5. I'm in the same similar spot here with Golden State. This is quick revenge at home a month ago, where Orlando beat them in Orlando 121-113. I really like these spots traditionally. And Orlando on the road has not covered since December, since actually end of November. The last time they covered on the road was at Detroit. They played at Knicks, lost that one. Denver and the Jazz in December on the road and have not covered, and they've only won one of those games. I just think this is a good spot for Golden State. I know that Curry potentially is going to be out for this game, but I think it's still not going to be enough for Orlando to overcome. So Golden State for me.
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards the Celtics here, even with the line shooting up. Indiana, I just can't on the road. And Boston's been playing some pretty solid basketball at home and just overall as of late. Indiana just has done nobody any favors, and they're just making it really hard to back them in a spot like this. The Charlotte Hornets. I'm also going to look at the Charlotte Hornets here. I can't get there with Cleveland laying any big numbers right now. They're 4-13 against the spread at home. They're just not the same team that they were last season. I think there's, and I've said this with Jay before. I said I think that they are the Sacramento Kings of a couple years ago. I think that the Cavs, they had a great season last year. Just took the league by storm, and then they just couldn't live up to the expectations the following year. So, with +9, I just think that Charlotte finds a way to keep that one close. But we'll move on to the final game on the board from Monday Night Football from Lucas Oil Stadium. You got the Indianapolis Colts. I think is this line still right?
Mm-hmm.
5.5.
5.5 still. Yep.
Total 46.5. Colts catching 5.5 at home. Costy, what do you like here?
I'm taking the Colts here. I like the points at home. I think they're going to have a bigger game plan for Rivers with another practice week under his belt. I think they're going to unleash Jonathan Taylor. I get it. San Fran has been playing exceptionally well, but the competition, some could say, is subpar with their wins. I know they have a Carolina team on that resume where they beat them on Monday Night Football 20-9, but they face Tennessee, Cleveland, Arizona, the Giants, the Falcons. I mean, they haven't actually, outside of the playing the Rams, their schedule has been soft. I get it. Purdy's back. McCaffrey, Kittle, Jawan Jennings. I think Ricky Pearsall's out. I just think Indianapolis has a really good game plan. You saw that last week on the road against Seattle. Their defense is really good, and I think that's going to show tonight. 5.5 points in a primetime game. Phillip Rivers is going to do enough. I wouldn't be shocked. Like I said, if I usually take the underdog, I always sprinkle something on the money line because my anticipation, if I like the dog, I expect them to win outright. So take the Colts and a little sprinkle on the money line as well.
Yeah, we're gonna Costy and I are gonna battle on this one. I'm gonna take the 49ers. I just think this defense is playing legit right now, and I think that the game against the Seahawks was more about the Colts defense keeping them in it. But I mean, if we look at that stat line from Phillip Rivers, it was just a lot of checkdowns, a lot of short passes. And like I said, I just have my doubts that kind of game is going to work against the San Fran defense that's been coming on. But even then, they've still been winning games left and right by margin. I think that the 49ers still smell some blood in the water. Even though they clinched a playoff spot, I think they're still trying to go after the division.
They're not getting the division.
You don't think so?
I mean, they do have the potential.
Yeah.
I think they still have the potential to grab the division, but it's going to take more than just them winning outright. And they have the Colts on the road, then they have Chicago at home, tough game, Seattle at home, tough game. And you have Seattle that's 12-3, and then the Rams are 11-4, right?
Yeah.
So it's I think it's going to be tough.
Yeah,
it's going to be tough, especially with the Rams. The Rams' last two is at Atlanta, at home versus Arizona. So it's going to be hard for them to jump both of these teams. So I don't know how much. I mean, look, they're going to play. They're going to play tough. You can't take anything away from that, but I don't think they'll be able to get the division.
Fair enough. That does it. We managed to go through winners and losers. Costy and I wanted to keep this at a half hour. We managed to stretch it to an hour.
Oh, it's an hour. That's good.
Yeah.
Did good.
Costa, let everybody know what's going on over at Safer Syndicate Group.
If you guys are interested, we have products for everyone. We have the ability to scale somebody's bankroll. We work hands-on. We provide you units, money management. It's much more of a mentorship style program rather than just you buying picks from the premium pick side on PickDawgz. So if you're interested, you happen to work with a larger bankroll that want more customization and a hands-on treatment, definitely text me, call me. The number for my company within the PickDawgz organization, you reach me directly, is under Premium Picks, Safer Syndicate Group.
Definitely check that out with Costi over at Safer Syndicate Group. You know, a lot of the stuff that I mentioned in my videos, you know, that's where it takes. I'm not just saying it just to, you know, just for the good of my health. It's because, you know, these groups are actually, you know, they're legit. They win people money. So definitely make sure that you guys check that out if you guys got the bankroll to do it. But for me, I got excuse me, oh my God, choking over here. Oh boy. For me, I got 3 plays on the board in total today. Got my college basketball big play, my NHL power play, and a dog of the day for college hoops. I'm going to put them all in a 3-pack as well if you want to just sort of get on a daily pass. Day 10 of my 12 days of Pickmas today is the best price you're going to get all season on my NHL season pass. There's still 6 months left of the season. You guys know I do the wraparound pretty much every day. I'm locked in on these teams, know these teams, you know, inside and out. Watch hockey every day. And I just, like I said, I love hockey. So if you're looking to make some money the rest of the season in the NHL, you know, like I said, this is going to be the best price you're going to get all season on the season pass. It's basically $80 a month, you know, for, you know, the price of basically 3 hockey packages a day or something like that. So definitely, I think is just the way to go, is to check out the deal in season pass. 2 more days of the 12 days of Pickmas. You just got to check my capper page and find out what the deal of the day is. But all right, it does it. Managed to make it through the show. And
Parlay
time. Costi, what do you got for a parlay today?
We're gonna go. We'll do a 2-teamer in the NBA. We're going to go with Golden State at home, Cleveland Cavs at home.
I'm going to go with BCU. I'm going to go with the Charlotte Hornets and San Francisco 49ers. 3-teamer. Costi, any final words before we head out of here?
I feel better. I feel better that I was able to get it out this morning. I feel like it's been just sitting right here for about a month and a half.
People say the same thing about a shark.
Yeah. No, that's usually quick. I mean,
it's been sitting here for a while. It feels better to get it out. I feel lighter. I feel better about it. Yeah. It's usually what they say. Same thing. Same, but different.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to listen to Jeremy on the radio this morning, but I'm sure he had the same sex appeal to this Baltimore Ravens franchise as I do. It's been rough, and I think the biggest takeaway is the expectations were so high going into the year for regular season. I know the playoffs, completely different story, but for regular season to have this ridiculous team on paper, to be able to do things we've never done before, offensively, defensively on paper. And it's been shambles all year. And it's sad. I guess when you have the high expectations, when your expectations are not met, you feel just sad and depressed for what could have been. So I think it's time to clean house, man. That's the players are not the problem. It's the coaching staff that puts them in the right positions. And I think it's time to make a change, move on. And I know there's a Ben Johnson that's waiting in the wings. There's a couple options out there that I would really like, but it's not going to happen. That's not what we do. You will be hearing me talk about this next year as Harbaugh will be back. because we just don't fire coaches. They have to retire.
I got nothing at that point. I can't follow that. So thank you everyone for joining us. Appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure that you check out all the content that we got over at PickDawgz, whether it's our website or the YouTube channel. Check out Costy's daily video. I'm gonna have the wraparound up very, very shortly. All the daily videos, 7 free picks, Jay's Jam session. Yeah, we're gonna tons of videos tomorrow for the final NBA card before Christmas Day. So definitely make sure that you guys check that out. And like I said, check out PickDawgz Premium. You can find our best bets. Let's get you guys paid. We only got a couple more days before Christmas. Want to make sure that we cover off those Christmas bills. So thank you everyone for joining us. Appreciate each and every one of you. And let's make it a winning day. See you guys.